Miss Katie, have we gotten any other attorneys appointed in this case?
I think Miss Sapiens.
Yeah, I'm looking to see. Miss Sapiens, that's right. She's guardian. That's right. That's right. Okay.
Your Honor, I'm not sorry. I'm
No.
not sure. Was that a no, don't talk and wait?
No. I said good morning.
Good morning. I met with my client yesterday in person. I don't know. I can't tell if she's here because I'm on my phone because of my laptop is unavailable at the moment. But I believe if I talk to Mr. Trott very quickly, we're ready for an agreement.
Okay, yeah, I'm bringing her in. Let's see. Well, she'd be under Morgan, LaDon Morgan.
Yes.
Isn't that her father?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that may be grandfather.
He's showed up. Yeah, I think our first turn. Let's see.
She will be showing up from a dialed in phone number if she does show up.
Okay, I don't have her in yet, but I'll put you and Mr. Trott in breakout room and let you all talk.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I go too, Judge?
No, babe.
Absolutely. Okay. And Ms. Gomez, Ms. Sapien, she has not logged in by phone yet.
She was still a little bit on the fence. She seemed more like she was going to log in and do that via telephone. But she wasn't entirely sure. Do you want me to try and give where she's at a call?
Yeah, I think, if you're not sure, I think so.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Yes.
we'll have to just proceed.
Yes. Give me 1 minute and I will attempt to call them.
Okay.
Okay. Your Honor, she will not be appearing today. However, she did make her wishes clear to me yesterday evening. I think you're muted, Judge.
Judge, you're muted.
I said, okay. So also, let's see, let me go ahead and call the case and because we have Mr. Ellis and Mr. Washington both present with us today. And I don't know whether anybody's had any opportunity to speak with them.
I have not. I think my workers have, Your Honor. I have not had any opportunity, so we'll need to admonish them and see if they want to speak to me or not.
Yeah. Problem is, this is already a second setting.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay. All right. I'll cause we are here today set for our adversary in this matter. We are live streaming and we are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. Ms. Taylor is making our record this morning. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Brianna Gomez on behalf of respondent mother LaDonna Johnson. We're present and ready.
Bailey Sapien, guardian ad litem for respondent mom LaDonna Johnson. I'm present, ready.
Stacey Zavala for the child.
All right, and as I stated earlier, Gloria Ellis is present, who is a presumed father of the child, and Willie Washington is present, who has been an alleged father of the child. All right, gentlemen, I need you both to unmute for me because I need to talk with you about some things. Okay, I can hear you, Mr. Washington. Let me send you a prompt, Mr. Ellis.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
All right.
All right. All right. First of all, Mr. Trout, any update on service on either Mr. Ellis or Mr. Washington? You're muted.
Sorry, we don't have service yet, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Mr. Ellis, let me talk to you first. Where do you live, sir?
I live in Oklahoma City. It's Spencer, Oklahoma.
Okay. You've been in contact with the department, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You understand what's going on today?
Yes, ma'am.
You've been named as a possible father to this child.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you think that you possibly are the father of this child?
I don't know for sure.
Okay. Are you going to want genetic testing?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So let me just ask Mr. Washington similar questions. Mr. Washington, you're a presumed father of the child. Do you believe that you are the father of the child?
Unsure. We're unsure.
Okay. All right. So we need to, generally what we do is we genetic test one of you at a time. So Mr. Trout, does the department have any preference?
I don't have any preference, really, Your Honor.
I think they're both going to want it.
They're both going to want it. I think, let me see. Mr. Washington's here in Texas. It may be easier to get his done first. But Mr. Ellis is the presumed father, so we may want to start with him.
Okay. Well, it kind of doesn't matter what order we're gonna,
Yeah.
I think they both are requesting, so I think we're probably gonna need to test both, but
Yeah.
it's that or we do one of our special orders and see if we can't get the Attorney General to
Do both.
do both. We can try.
I can try that way and just see if we can get it in the works to get both of them done.
Okay.
If they turn it down, then we'll pick one and start with one.
Okay. All right. So, gentlemen, here's how this works. You both are entitled to have an attorney represent you during this case. And this case has already been reset once. So we have some pretty tight guidelines that we have to have this hearing. And so we're getting, very close to that deadline. You've both obviously been in contact with the department because you got the link to log in today. I can look at the deadline and a reset date if you want. You can submit some paperwork to me. Have either of you been given that paperwork to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney?
No, ma'am.
Okay, neither of you have?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. All right, well, we need to, obviously, that paperwork needs to go to both of those gentlemen immediately.
Judge,
So-
it was sent to the addresses they provided to me with all the other paperwork, but both were returned with return to sender saying it was the wrong address.
Okay, we're live streaming, so I don't want you all telling me your addresses over YouTube. I might put you in a breakout room with the caseworker here in
Okay.
just a little bit so she can verify all of that. If you have an email address, I want you to give that to her because we can email that attorney form to you. But for purposes of today, what I need to know is if either of you or both of you are willing to proceed today. The mother is apparently agreed for the department to be named temporary managing conservator of the child. Obviously, the child was removed from the mother's home. I can put you all in a breakout room and let you visit with Mr. Trout, who represents the department, to see what you all want to do today. If you're comfortable proceeding, and what would be involved if the department is named temporary managing conservator, or whether or not you are wanting to request an attorney. Now, I don't know what either of your circumstances are, so I don't know whether you'll qualify for a court-appointed attorney until I get that information
Yes.
from you. So it's a little hard for me to judge without having that financial information from each of you, whether you would even qualify. So are you all willing to talk with Mr. Trout?
Yes.
Okay. The other individual on the screen that you need to be aware of is Mrs. Zavala. She is appointed to represent the child.
Mhm.
And so it might be beneficial if she's in there with you all, just to visit about preliminarily kind of what this is all about. So, all right. So, Mr. Trout, I'm going to put you all into a breakout room just for a few minutes and let you all just discuss if there's any possibility of moving forward. And then we got to look at what our drop dead date is on this.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Katie, can you take a look at that while I'm moving them around?
Judge, I already texted you.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Trout, I'm gonna move you to room 2 and I'll
Yes, ma'am.
put you into room 2.
Thank you, Judge.
Y'all are gonna get a little prompt that says join room 2. You can say join.
Judge, I think you're gonna have to bring both of them back in. They're both on phones and not sure how to do it.
Okay, I've done it. Oh, we've got them back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where do we stand?
Your Honor, after meeting with both potential fathers, they've agreed today, get the paternity testing done and proceed from there. They're agreeing to the temporary managing conservatorship to the department. We're not asking for any child support or medical support at this time. And we'll get the genetic testing in. We'll try to do it concurrent and get them, my brain's not working today. We'll try to get them both put in the same order and have them tested at the same time.
Okay. Did you, while you all were in there, did you think about confirming their addresses, or do we need to get them in with the?
We talked about it, but we'll get them in with the workers and let them get the addresses to make sure we got it all right.
Okay, all right, when we conclude the hearing, we'll get them back in there, okay. All right, gentlemen, I appreciate your cooperation today. And we'll get this genetic testing set up as soon as we can. It takes a while. I can't tell you it's going to happen overnight, but we will get it set up. So, okay.
We did discuss, Your Honor, to go ahead and get the paperwork in. They can go ahead and get attorneys appointed, and whoever's found not to be will be dismissed out with them at that time. So we did to go through all that also.
Okay, great. Appreciate it. All right then. So, as far as today's concerned, then it sounds like then Ms. Gomez, your client, and you and Ms. Sapien's client has agreed to name the department as temporary managing conservator. There won't be any child support or medical support ordered for your client. She's willing to work services in the case. And then with respect to Mr. Ellis and Mr. Washington, they both are willing to name the department as temporary managing conservator of the child, and we'll get them both genetic tested to determine who the father is. No child support or medical obviously is being ordered at this time for either of them. And whoever ends up being the father, then, at that point in time, then we're going to be looking at you to, work services with us to see whether the child needs to be placed with you. For one of you, there's going to be more to this at some point in time, but we'll make sure that paperwork gets to the both of you to fill out. And if you will, try to be as thorough as you can on that and give me as much information as you can about your income earnings. If you don't have a job, obviously you can let me know that. If you draw a disability or something else like that, just let me know that. So give me as complete a picture as you can about your income and your expenses. All right. So we will get all of that to you. I'll move you into a breakout room and make sure that we've got correct contact information for you. So let me just ask real quickly on the record, Ms. Gomez, Ms. Sapien, is that your client's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Ellis, does this sound like what you've agreed to today, sir? Okay, you're muted, but I think you're saying yes, but I'll send you a prompt again. Okay.
Okay,
Is this what you've agreed to today, sir?
yes,
All right. Thank you. Mr. Washington, how about you? Same thing. You're muted, so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right, then. I find it is in the best interest of the child to name the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator of the child. And I will not order any kind of child support or medical support to be paid at this time. We'll order the genetic testing on both Mr. Ellis and Mr. Washington. And we will talk more about services when we return for our next hearing, which is currently scheduled for May 29th of 2025. And that's on a 9:00 docket. So I will see y'all back then. Let me go ahead and get Mr. Ellis and Mr. Washington, and then who all do I need to put in there with them?
If you'll put Miss Larson and is Miss Alford,
Yes, she's on here. Jordan.
Miss Jordan Alford in there. Marvell, do you want to go in there too?
No, I just wanted to make sure Jordan got the information.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put y'all in. I'm gonna move y'all to room 3. So got all of them assigned to room 3. Everybody else is free to go.
Yeah, Jordan is still, I'm still showing her on my screen. Did she go?
Well, I'll put her in there. I've assigned her to 3. Okay, everybody else is free to go. Good morning, Ms. Gruff. Pleasure to see you in person, or at least on Zoom, not in person, but we've
Maybe
talked.
one of these days, Your Honor.
We've talked, but I haven't actually seen you before. So anyway, welcome.
Great. Thank you.
Are you expecting your client?
No, Your Honor, I have not had the opportunity to get in contact with her. I just heard yesterday from social worker Jordan Alford that she was admitted over to the pavilion recently. I took a letter over to the pavilion with a copy of the court order substituting me as her counsel, along with my business card, and asked that I be put on the visitor list. But whether that happens, I can't say. It's a big hospital. So I told Ms. Alford that I would go over next week with the client file and see if I can find some live bodies that I can talk to and basically push the legal thing and get them to get me on her list so we can get her going. So that's my plan.
Okay. If Ms. Alford, if you have contact with her, you might encourage her, Ms. Johnson, to put Ms. Groff on her, on her contact list. So that
Yes, I have not been able to get in contact with her.
you have.
I have not
You
for about the last month, probably.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And Your Honor, I did try texting her earlier this month and I got no response. And that's the only contact information I have is a telephone number that can be texted to. So I'm going to try the live presence over at the hospital and see if that gets me any closer.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. All right, then I will call cause number 99. We're here today set for our status hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record for us this morning. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Jordan Alford's my permanency specialist. We're present, ready on.
Bailey Sapien, guardian ad litem for the respondent mother. Your Honor, like was stated earlier, I haven't had contact with her either. I did email the link for today's hearing to her in case she could access email, but I don't see her. I'm ready.
Okay, and of course, Ms. Groff is present. We've already visited on behalf of the mother. Mother's not present. And then I see that Mr. Ellis is logged in with us this morning. Good morning, Mr. Ellis. All right, and Ms. Zavala?
Stacy Zavala on behalf of LaDon.
Okay, then Ms. Alford, if you want to give us an update since your court report was filed, that'd be great.
Sure. LaDon's doing great in his placement. There are absolutely no issues. He was not recommended for any ECI services or anything right now, so he's on target. Everything is great with him. He's a very happy baby. I have spoken to Mr. Ellis and Mr. Washington. I've gotten the paternity orders submitted, and Ms. Chavez stated she's just waiting to hear back on those dates for the paternity testing for both of them. But they have both been in contact with me. I did send Mr. Washington the link to the hearing yesterday, and spoke with him yesterday, so I thought he would be here, but I did also provide the family plans to both Mr. Ellis and Mr. Washington. They have not signed them yet, but we haven't really gotten to go over them together either. I have not been in contact with Miss Johnson since probably the end of April. She was in a TPC respite program there for a short bit before she went back to the pavilion. I've tried to contact them again to see if I could maybe get through to her and have not had any luck. So she has not seen her family plan at this time.
Ms. Alford, all the family plans have been filed though, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Washington is just logging in. Man. All right, Mr. Washington. Good morning, sir. Okay, we have started this hearing already, but I will mark you present. And we've discussed that you, of course, wanted genetic testing, which we are already in the process of getting that underway. So just to be sure you and Mr. Ellis both be sure you all show up when you get those appointments set. It's those appointments are kind of hard to come by, and if you miss them, it'll be another wait before we can get you another appointment. So just make your very best efforts to get to those appointments whenever those roll around. Okay, so the Ms. Alford was giving us an update. Child is doing well. Since Mr. Washington, you were a few minutes late. Child is doing very well in placement. Everything's going well for him. Okay, Ms. Alford, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, then Ms. Groff, anything else you needed to cover today? I know it's kind of hard when you haven't had contact with her.
No, I haven't had contact with her, but I did look at the visitation plan, and given the age of the child, I would like to ask the court to order 2 visits a week for 1 hour each because the child is so young, and he's had such sporadic contact with his mother due to, the case and what's been going on for her. However, I think the level of supervision that was proposed is absolutely appropriate. So that's what I would ask for. And obviously this visitation would not occur until she's released from the pavilion and it's determined that she's safe even on a high supervision level.
I certainly have no problem with that once we know mom's sort of, at least she's kind of stabilized and everything. And we often will try to do 2 hours a week, with an infant. So, we're just kind of see how all this proceeds. And if we get her out of the hospital and sort of get her stabilized and she's appearing regularly for visits and all that, I don't have a problem if St. Francis can, bump those up to twice a week. Instead of 2 hours once a week. That's with an infant, I think that's sort of wasted time. So, all right, Mr. Ellis, any questions, sir, or anything you want to talk about today? And you'll have to unmute for me.
No, ma'am.
All right. You do need to get with Ms. Alford and go through, the contents of this service plan. I'm going to talk to you both about this a little bit more here in a minute, but I just wanted to make sure you didn't have any questions for me.
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay, Mr. Washington, same with you if you'll unmute for me.
Okay.
All right, sir. Anything you need to talk about or anything you need to ask me today?
Not at this time, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala, or excuse me, Ms. Sapien. I skipped over you. My apologies.
That's okay, Judge. I was just gonna let Ms. Graff and Ms. Alford know if I do hear from Mom, I'll let you know, and I just ask that you would do the same for me. And I don't have anything else, Judge.
Absolutely, Ms. Sapien.
Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, Jordan's absolutely correct. LaDon's doing really great. Looks like there's going to be a whole bunch of teeth coming in all at once. I prefer them to come in at once and get that over with. But I've got no concerns about placement and how he's doing, and I do recommend that continue.
All right, thank you. All right, we wish placement the best while that's happening. Okay. All right, gentlemen, let me just address the two of you since you're here with us today. So this is a status hearing, and at our status hearings, a couple things are required to happen. I need to make sure that you all understand those family plans of service are really important. And I know you both are waiting on genetic testing, and I understand that. The issue here is, we only have so much time to start and finish this case. Generally speaking, we have to wrap everything up within 12 months. There are some circumstances, and they are typically what we call extraordinary circumstances, that give me the ability to extend the case an additional 6 months for parents to work their services. But, if you wait to start everything until you know the results of the genetic testing, you may be hard pressed to get things finished. And part of what I'm going to do today is order those service plans as an order of the court. In other words, it's going to become a court order. And like any other court order, there's consequences to not following that.
Yes.
The consequences of not completing your services are that the child might not go home to either one or both of you. And, it can also result in termination of your parental rights. So, I understand you both are in a position where we need to determine who is the father, and we will do that as quickly as you can. But that's why I come back to the importance of you all showing up at that, at those appointments for the genetic testing, because you're going to need all, I want you to have plenty of time to work services. Whichever one of you turns out to be the dad, I want you to have time to get these things done so that you've got a fair shake and a fair shot at all this. So do you both understand that?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. All right. So stay in contact with Ms. Alford. You both may have been given paperwork to apply for a court-appointed attorney. I encourage you to look at that paperwork, fill it out, turn it in to me, even though we haven't determined which of you is the father at this point. But you are entitled to legal representation. And if you don't qualify, then, you always have the right to hire an attorney. But you may wish to turn all that in and get it to me so we can look at it and see. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, then. Today, I am going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I would find there's a continuing danger to return the child home at this time. I will continue the child's current placement. Of course, the department's going to continue to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family. And I am making those service plans in order of the court today. So I will see everybody back for our initial permanency hearing on September 23rd of 2025. That'll be on a 9:00 docket. It will be by Zoom, at least right now. We're scheduled to do that by Zoom. Hopefully by then we'll know, which one
Yes,
of you
ma'am.
is the father and who needs to stay in the case and who will be dismissed. Okay?
No.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I appreciate you both very much joining us today. Thank you very much. And everybody is free to go on the Johnson matter, and we will keep moving through our docket.
Excuse me, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Can we get some pictures to see some pictures of them? Can CK send some pictures for me?
Yeah, Ms. Alford can do that for you. Sure.
Okay, I
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank
Have a
y'all.
good-
Uh-huh.
All righty.
Miss Katie, can you? Good morning, everybody.
And Judge?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Judge, Mr. Bird is still on.
Okay. Mr. Bird, you and Ms. Fields, you all are free to go. I'm going to go ahead and remove you. We're here for our initial permanency hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Galvan's making our record this morning. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Jordan Alford is my permanency specialist. We're present ready.
Meredith Graff. I'm appearing for LaDonna Johnson, who is not present, and her whereabouts are not known.
Bailey Sapien, guardian ad litem for respondent mother. I have not had contact with her since April. I've reached out on all the avenues that I do have and haven't heard back, but I'm present and ready.
Your Honor, I'm Tate Eldridge. I represent the father, Toria Ellis, and we're both present and ready.
Ms. Zavala, I don't know if you, oh, wait a minute, she's frozen. Hang on, she's logging back in. Just a second. That's why she didn't announce. Okay, we got her back now.
I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I just wasn't there anymore.
It's your turn to announce.
Okay, Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
All right, great. Thank y'all. Okay, Ms. Alford, are you giving us the update today?
Yes.
All right.
LaDon is doing great in his placement. There are absolutely no concerns. He is the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life. I mean, he's not doing ECI or anything like that. He's on target, so everything's great with him at this point. I did actually hear from LaDonna at the beginning of this month. She reported to me that she was living in Lubbock at her mother's house. When I tried to contact her back on the phone number that she had contacted me on, it was no longer a working number, and I have not heard from her again since. Mr. Ellis has continued to stay in contact with me. He has his paternity testing finally scheduled for the 25th of this month. So LaDon has already gone to his testing on the 5th of this month. Mr. Washington had his scheduled for the 4th of this month, and he did not show up. So that's kind of the update that I have right now. We're still just waiting on that paternity testing. It took forever with the Attorney General's office to get Mr. Ellis's scheduled. Well, everyone's scheduled, but it is scheduled for the 25th for him. So that's all I've got.
Great. Okay, Mr. Ellis, you know where to go for that and all the
Yes, ma'am.
particulars? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I appreciate your cooperation in that regard, and hopefully we'll get that done that day and then get some answers.
Okay, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Willie Washington, he said he was trying to get on. He had called me. He said he trying to get on and he can't get on.
I don't have him in my waiting room, so
okay.
Maybe he's having an internet problem, or
yeah,
I don't know.
Because I know he went and took his DNA test because he called me and told me. So
did we have a rescheduled date, Ms. Alford?
No, maybe he did attend, and I just never heard from him regarding it, and so maybe he did.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hope so.
Yeah.
Judge, I haven't heard anything on that test yet. I'll email Ms. Chavez real quick and see if she can get us.
Okay. All right. Anything further than Ms. Alford?
No.
Where are we? Anybody working services or getting anything done at this point?
Yes, Mr. Ellis. Mr. Ellis has been working services, and he's been doing his counseling and parenting, and so he's been in contact. He stays in constant contact with me. No issues. He's doing everything he's supposed to. As far as the other parents, I don't have any updates on services for them.
Okay. All right. Very good then. All right, Ms. Groff, anything to add today?
No, Your Honor. My client has not contacted me, and the number I had for her, I've tried calling her at least twice a month since I was appointed, and I get a message that says that the phone is not able to take messages. So I'm not able to leave a message and I have no other information. I would be interested to get an address if Ms. Alford has one, because I could write her a letter if she has an address for Ms. Johnson's mother. So that's all I have to report.
Okay, and that was the question I had, Ms. Alford. Do we have that address?
Yes, I do. And I will forward that to Ms. Graff.
Okay, great. All right.
Thank you so much.
We'll try snail mail. It still has its purpose in life.
And Ms. Alford, when you send that to Ms. Graff, go ahead and send it to Ms. Sapien also.
Yes.
You stole my thunder.
Sorry.
Okay, Ms. Sapien, anything?
No, Judge, I was just gonna ask for that address, and then as well, the phone number. I know you said, Ms. Alford, that it was no longer connected, but we can try it again. If you could send that also.
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Nothing else, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Eldridge.
The only thing, this is a little bit premature. If Mr. Ellis does turn out to be the father, he has a 12-year-old daughter with the mother. He'd like to be considered for placement. He's the non-offending parent. He's working his services, and LaDon has a sister out there, 12-year-old sister, that living with Toria, and we'd like to have the child placed with him if he is the father.
Okay, we'll find out. And then clearly, that's probably an appropriate inquiry. So, as soon as we get the results back, Mr. Ellis, then we can entertain what the next step is.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, Kelly got to go out to Lubbock and see him in person yesterday, and we agree on how cute he is. She brought back the best pictures. He's doing really, really well. I just want to clarify, am I correct that he hasn't had any visits with mom?
That's correct.
Okay. And are we waiting on starting any potential visits with Mr. Ellis until the results come back, or has there been some talk about him starting visits?
We have not talked about that. I think we were waiting for the paternity testing.
But that's okay. She took you off.
No, I did.
Your Honor, that's all that I have. Mr. Ellis is participating and working on his services. He does have a sibling in his care. I am fine if he is interested in wanting to start those visits. But I also understand if we want to wait until we see the results.
Mr. Ellis, I muted you because of background noise. If you want to unmute and tell us what your feeling is about that.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got a doctor appointment today too.
Okay.
Okay, I'm outside now.
The question is whether or not you want to start some visits with LaDon, or whether you want to wait until we get the genetic testing back.
Well, if I can get some visits, well, how we gonna do that? Because I'm up here. How can we do that? I'd like to have some visits with him if I can.
Where do you live?
I live in Oklahoma.
Okay.
I
They'd
did
probably be
know that.
virtual. They would probably just be
Virtual?
virtual to begin with, so.
Okay.
I don't see any harm in it, quite frankly. So, Ms. Alford, I'll let you visit with him about that at greater length, and if we want to start those, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Ellis, they'll talk to you about that further and kind of what that looks like and how we could, how we could set something up if you want to do that.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And Judge, just to update the court, I reached out to Ms. Chavez. As far as Mr. Washington's paternity test, she has not gotten results back on that yet. She's reaching out to see if she can find out an answer for us, but as of right now, she has no notification on it.
Okay. Okay, I just noticed something on my paperwork, so I've got a question and maybe. I show Mr. Ellis as a presumed father. Y'all
Correct, Your
jog
Honor.
my
I believe-
memory. Is it just because we had this question about Mr. Washington?
Well, yes, ma'am. He is, I believe Mr. Ellis is presumed as I think they're still legally married.
Okay.
But then mom gave both names. Of
Yeah. Okay, all right. That's what I wanted to be sure of. All right. Okay, then, today I'm going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I'll continue placement. I'm going to find there would be a continuing danger to return the child home to mother at this time, or to Mr. Washington, who at this point is just an alleged father. With respect to Mr. Ellis, even though he's presumed, we obviously have this question. So I would find that it would be inappropriate to send the child to him at this point in time. We're very close to, finding out an answer, and we can entertain the idea of placement when we're sure about paternity. So I'm not really finding it that it's a danger to return the child to Mr. Ellis at this time. I think it's just premature.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, then I will expect the department to continue to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family. And so Mr. Ellis, I appreciate your cooperation and everything.
Yes.
Once we get that genetic testing back, we're going to know kind of what next steps are and what all is involved with that. So
Okay.
I won't see you again until January 20th of 2026. That'll be a 9 o'clock docket. So there could be some things that happen between now and then. I fully
Okay.
anticipate there's going to be. As long as everybody's in agreement and comfortable with what's going on and what we're doing, that's fine. If we need to get together before that date, y'all know, just let us know.
Okay.
But I can see some moving parts here in the next, couple months. So,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. All
And-
right, then I'll see you back for sure January 20th, 2026. If we don't talk before then.
And Your Honor, as far as service plans, Mr. Ellis in compliance and mom and Mr. Washington not at this time.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I have someone right outside my window yelling all kinds of lovely things. So
Welcome to Potter County Courthouse.
Somebody's not happy with their plea offer. Okay, are you expecting your client this morning?
I am, Your Honor. I did send her the link. So I'm kind of surprised she's not here. But I have talked to her, so
Okay.
I am
keep
prepared
watching.
whether
I'll
she
keep-
comes or not.
Okay, I'll keep watching for her.
Judge, can you hear me?
Yes. Good
I
morning.
don't know. I need to reboot if you don't mind. My computer is acting up, but I think a reboot would fix it.
Okay, sure.
Can you
Go
give me
ahead.
just 2 seconds? Okay, I'll be right back.
That's never happened to any of the rest of us.
At least it gave her warning it needed to reboot. Mine just usually reboots on its own.
Yeah.
Usually in the middle of saying something, all of a sudden
Yeah.
everything just goes dark. So
It's like we've had a few occasions where the Potter County internet goes down and it's just like all of a sudden, boom, we're all gone.
we all look like Max Headroom as it goes out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that reference really ages us.
You know, I think everybody, well, Bailey probably has no idea who I'm talking about, but everybody else does. But yes, I think it does definitely age us.
You never know. There could be a resurgence. That seems to be the thing nowadays.
Mm-hmm. I know my daughters are always like, this really cool movie's coming out. And I'm like, yeah, I saw that 20 years ago.
He's just right outside my window, just going crazy. I don't know.
Let me go look out the window and see if I can see who it is.
He was sleeping under the bench when he started yelling. Now he's standing and yelling.
Oh, yeah, I think that guy's been up there all weekend. I came over over the weekend to move my stuff, and he was out just about outside of Stacy's window there on the bench.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cold night to be out.
I don't know if it's the same guy or not, but
Probably. We had that person that slept across the street under where the office building across the street, and it has that little overhang. A couple years ago, we had a person that would sleep underneath there, and when I would walk in in the mornings, I'd always try to look and make sure they were breathing.
I might be screaming too if I'd spent the night outside last night. Do we need Mr. Ryan for this hearing?
Oh, I'm not really sure who's on it because it was Jordan Alford, and it's my understanding she is no longer there. So, I have Mr. Ryan is on the Laura case.
Okay.
Yes.
If Mr. Ryan's out there, we might bring him in and see if we have any idea who's doing Johnson.
You know, it may be Erin that's covering.
She might be. She went to
Yeah.
get a charger. We'll see what she says when she gets back.
And actually, Your Honor, when I was talking about my client, I was actually thinking about the Laura case, not the Johnson case. So I take back everything I said. I have not had any contact with Miss Johnson.
Okay.
So.
All right, then we're gonna get rolling.
Well, Meredith, I was a little jealous. I was like, why is she talking to you and not me?
Oh, right. No, no contact. I even tried going over to the mental hospital, but that was when I got appointed, and that didn't pan out either.
I'm just waiting for Ms. Goodman to get logged back in, and as soon as she's reconnected, we'll get going.
Yeah, I was like, I thought I'd gotten your signature, Meredith. I did.
Yes, you did.
Yep.
I was the first one to sign, I think.
I think you were. So Bailey's the whole reason we're here today.
Yep.
All right, there's Jody. Let's make sure you hearing us and seeing us okay. And
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Gremlins.
All good?
All good.
Okay. All right, then we will call cause number 9. We are here today on a review hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming, and Ms. Goodman is making our record. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the department, the St. Francis Permanency Specialist. Today is Erin Sessions.
Meredith Graff for LaDonna Johnson. She's not present. I'm prepared to go forward.
Texas 136 ramp. Continue for half a mile.
On behalf of respondent mother, I'm present, ready.
Jeff Hill on behalf of the unknown father, ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
Okay. All right then. Let's see, Ms. Sessions, since you're going to cover this morning, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear to tell us the truth today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you can go ahead and just give us an update and then we'll see if anybody's got any questions.
I have no updates. The baby is doing great. He is the cutest thing in the whole world, and he's squishy and walking around, and yeah, he's very cute. His placement is ready to adopt as soon as we get this thing wrapped up. Still no contact with mother. She has been in the wind for a very long time. There's been no success in finding her through searches, Facebook searches, jail searches, diligent searches. She has not reached out to us, and so she has not named anyone else who could potentially be the father. So we're still unknown on who the dad is at this time.
And Judge, in regards to the order, Ms. Graff did sign this since she hadn't had contact. At the time she signed it, we hadn't marked whether mother had or had not demonstrated compliance with services. I'm going to mark has not based upon the report today. I just wanted to let everybody know that.
Yeah, she's not worked any services at all for us.
No, ma'am, nothing.
All right.
I just didn't want to change the order without them knowing since Ms. Graff had signed.
Okay. Probably not any big unfair surprise there to Ms. Graff.
I didn't check the box because I thought, well, there might be some information out there that I'm not aware of. So I didn't want to make any presumptions. So, and I did approve the order as to the form and the information based on the fact I've had no contact.
Okay. Appreciate it. All right, Mr. Hill, any news?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, I agree. He's doing really, really well in region in a foster placement, thriving. I've got no concerns about that placement, and I recommend that continue.
Okay. We'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the child's current placement. I'll make a finding that there would be a continuing danger to return the child to the mother. We've had no contact with her since it sounds like September of 2025. She's worked no services for us. She's not in compliance with her family plan of service. We have no leads on the unknown father at this time, having eliminated, I think, 2 other alleged fathers by virtue of genetic testing. And we are set for a final on this case March 31st of 2026. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. And so I will see everybody back then. And I appreciate everybody showing up this morning. Mr. Hill, travel safe. And the rest of you have a good rest of your day, except for those of you that are going to continue with me. And I guess, Mr. Hill, you are too. So,
yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Appreciate y'all. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll just hang out till we see everybody that might Grant, or excuse me, Ms. Grant had filed a motion, and then I believe Ms. Naranjo has filed her motion, both requesting extensions in this case. Our upcoming dismissal date is May 12th of 2025. We are currently set for a final on May 6th on a 9 o'clock docket. I've reviewed both motions, but I'm going to allow everybody an opportunity to say their piece about it. So let's go ahead and take announcements from everybody.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Tanner Runkle. Sorry, Stacy, go ahead.
Stacey Grant on behalf of Terry Jones, father, and I'm ready.
Kenner Runkle on behalf of the mother, Tamesia Carruthers. Your Honor, I'm not sure if Ms. Carruthers is present with Ms. Garcia or not. Oh, she is. We're present, ready to proceed.
Jeff Hill on behalf of Dante Jones, father to Tavy. He's not present, Judge. He's working today, but I am ready to proceed.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the children.
Sylvia Garcia with St. Francis Ministries, Permanency Specialist.
All right, so Ms. Grant, I think you pulled the trigger first, so I guess I'll let you go first.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll speak to the items in my motion and just add one additional item. The caseworker in this case, Judge, has recently been changed, and so both of us are kind of just now locating Mr. Jones. He was actually located on, I believe, March 23rd was the first notification I had that he had been found in a nursing home. He has some incapacities, Your Honor. I do not believe at this time that they prevent him from understanding what is going on, but they do, Your Honor, prevent him from being able to communicate with me verbally. So we're going to try to communicate by video conference and see if that will work. He is another complicating factor, Judge, that I'm not sure I put in my motion is that he's in Oregon. He's not in Amarillo, Texas. He does have a legal power of attorney, but after reviewing the power of attorney, and I have a great concern. We did mediate this case, but I have a great concern in letting someone with a durable power of attorney mediate something extensive as parental rights, forfeiture of parental rights, things like that, without requesting the additional item in my motion, which is the request of a guardian ad litem to be appointed to assist me in the decision-making and communication with Mr. Jones to ensure that I've done all of my duty to Mr. Jones. He is likely not, he's likely, based on what I know, without further investigation of his situation, not able to be placement for the children. But he has not, Your Honor, been even afforded, since we just located him, the opportunity to complete a caregiver resource form, to participate in a service plan in any meaningful way, to communicate with his caseworker in a way that would assist her in determining what's in the best interest of his children from his viewpoint, or to provide information in this case to the ad litem in regard to the children, including a medical history, should the children be placed permanently with another party other than the mother. And so my request today, Judge, is that we do a motion to extend for 180 days, although I don't know, Your Honor, if I'll need the entire 180 days, as Mr. Jones is inclined to speak with me and attempt in some way to work with this case and determine what's best for his children according to his power of attorney. He is unable to speak, and so the caseworker and I and a guardian ad litem would need to work together to ensure that we could speak to him and that he understands us.
Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and take Ms. Naranjo's. Let me let her go second and put her position out there on behalf of the mother.
Your Honor, Ms. Crothers is seeking an extension as well. I mean, based on prior hearings, we've had Ms. Crothers has made progress. She's had visitation with her children. She had it unsupervised. Unfortunately, we had issues that led to becoming supervised again. And then we did lose contact with her, but she has come back. I understand she did have a relapse, but she has taken upon herself to address that by enrolling in Centacor, I believe last Wednesday. She's currently in detox and currently present with Ms. Garcia. She's intent on addressing all of her issues. She really wants to be back with her children. I understand she has a plan for housing afterwards, after she's released from Centacor, to go to a shelter and also work on obtaining employment. Regarding her services, the majority of services have been addressed other than the domestic violence support group and maintaining her sobriety, both things that she is working with Ms. Garcia on completing.
Okay. So it's her intent to go from the detox into 30-day program.
That's correct. She's going to be in a 30-day inpatient program with Centacor.
And then at that point, is she talking about working in an intensive outpatient through them?
I believe so, if that's their recommendation, because she can also, depending on how the treatment goes, be expended up to 60 to 90 days in outpatient, depending on how that goes. But the initial plan is for 30 days inpatient.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Trout, what's the department's position?
Department's position on these, Your Honor, has been, we've been in opposition to an extension. I completely understand Ms. Grant's situation as far as we've just found Dad, and his situation. I do understand that one. It's more toward mom's side of things. We did have extensive hearings on this as far as placement with mom, trying to get unsupervised visits. We gave her unsupervised visits, and then she kind of absconded with the kids for a few days in the middle of this. We had to bring them back to supervised visits. My understanding, mom has not had a visit with the children since January. She showed back up right before the mediation last week and then checked into rehab. Our position on this is that there's not extenuating circumstances for the extension on mom's side of things, because mom just fell off the radar and kind of did her own thing and came back at the last minute. She has worked some services. I'm not looking at my reports, but I don't know that she has fully completed any services. And we've been in this case almost a year. It's kind of from our position, kind of a little too late at the last minute situation. As far as Tavius's case, Mr. Hill's client also has not completed services. We're at the end of the case and he's done nothing in the case. And he has not visited with children since February, is my understanding. So that is our opposition, Judge, is that we don't see that there's extenuating circumstances to show up at the last minute and ask for the extension.
Are the children placed together?
They are, Your Honor.
They are.
They're in a relative home. Let's see, I'm trying to remember a bit.
They used to be.
They were, they're not anymore. Yeah, I'm sorry, Stacey.
Yeah.
That's, they are now in a foster home that's located on the Lubbock Children's Home campus.
Okay, well, it's the age. Well, Mr. Hill, in fairness, you have any input on this?
Yes, ma'am. Obviously, Mr. Jones would like to see this case extended to give him some more time to try and take care of what he needs to take care of. And he's also very much in favor of the children's mother to be able to have her time to try and get her situation remedied and get the kids back.
All right. Ms. Zavala, what's your position?
Your Honor, I do agree in terms of mom. We had the situation where the kids were taken for multiple days and we didn't know where they were. And then she disappears. Then we have a massively high drug test. It does appear that this is very much too little too late in terms of mom. As to dad, I understand that he likely will not be in a position to be placement. Dad as in Miss Grant's client, I apologize, to be placement. However, I do think it's important that we explore family through his side, things like that. I would ask the court that if we are looking at an extension in this case, that we set a final within just a few months and not look at the 6-month period. I believe that should be enough to help Ms. Grant do what she needs to in terms of her client. But I don't see the extraordinary circumstances to extend it a full, to set a final a full 6 months out.
And Your Honor, I don't have necessarily an objection to Ms. Zavala's request. I can, if we set something and I do need more time, I can always file a continuance at that point and explain further. My only concern about just jumping in and agreeing today is the fact that he's in Oregon. That's the distance is my only concern and how fast things will move. But again, he does have a power of attorney, and with the court's approval to appoint a guardian ad litem, I think we can move quickly for these children to get them some permanency established quickly.
Okay, well, they're obviously not in a legal risk home.
They are not.
And so, I mean, the kids, the children are together. The children are obviously bonded. I mean, they're close in age. All those things that we look at as far as, making sure we keep kids together or at least trying to do that. It's not a case that makes particular sense to me to say, okay, we're going to extend on Terry Jones's case, but we're not on Dante Jones and Ms. Carruthers. It doesn't make sense to me that we're going to try them separately.
Yes.
Because we go to trial on one May 6th. The circumstances might be vastly different by the time we go to trial on the other case. So, I cannot, I feel like I've got to give Ms. Grant some time to, get with her client now that he's been located, and under those circumstances, I think we've got to give it the opportunity to let him tell us about, or his power of attorney, give us information about what family he may have, that information. I think we're duty bound to look at all of that, and to do something otherwise and forge ahead May 6th, I think, is trampling all over his constitutional rights as a parent. So, although he may be disabled, we need to dig a little further to see what those options are. So, what I want to do is give about 60 days. Obviously, Ms. Grant, if you all, hit a brick wall and have a real difficult time, you can always ask for additional time, but I'd like to set it on July 1. I mean, I'll grant the extension in both cases, but I want to set them, we're looking at July 1st at 9:00 on a 9:00 docket. So everybody can check your schedules. But that being said, Ms. Carruthers and Mr. Hill, your client's not here, so I can't address him directly, but you can certainly pass this along. Y'all just cut a break. That's all that there is to it. You just got lucky here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Because if we hadn't found Mr. Terry Jones, we would have been proceeding as if we'd not been able to locate him, and we would have just gone on down the road. So on May 6th, there would have been no basis for me to have found extraordinary circumstances at that point to extend the case, because it's too little, it's too late. So, Ms. Carruthers, since you're here, I am telling you, you had really better take it seriously for the next 60 days.
Yes, ma'am.
And, it is time for you to make some really, really, life-changing decisions.
Yes, ma'am.
You're either going to step up and be a parent to these children that you've brought into this world. That was your choice.
Yes, ma'am.
Not theirs. And you're either going to get sober get a job, provide a home, and do the things you need to do for them. Or you can just go back out and be a drug addict on the street and never see your kids again. And then if you have another one, then the same thing's going to happen to that one. So, you're in a cycle that, if you don't break it now, you're probably never going to break it. And you've got 3 young children that are being drugged through a process. As hard as we try to make it a good process for those kids, there's nothing good about kids getting taken out of their home and taken away from their family and parents and people that they know and that they care about. So, as hard as we work at it and to make their little lives whole and better and safe, all those things, we still can't achieve them getting to be with their mama. So, you've let your kids down over and over, this is one of those moments where, I feel like I got to shoot straight with you. I mean, you got a real uphill battle with me because I'm tired of seeing your kids disappointed. Yeah. You know how hard it is on them to get to go with you and start having unsupervised visits and they're beginning to think, hey, we're spending more time with mom, or, maybe a 1 and a 4 and a 5-year-old don't consciously know that, okay, maybe we're getting close to getting home with mom, but they know there's something different, and they like spending time with you and they enjoy spending more and more time with you. And then all of a sudden, you jump up and do something stupid. And then they're kind of like, well, where's mom? Why don't we get to see mama? That's a really hard question to answer for kids that age. It's hard to look at them and say, well, your mom likes drugs better than she does you. And obviously we don't say that to children. But that's kind of the decisions you've been making. So I'm really not trying to beat up on you, ma'am. I'm just trying to tell you like it is. And so the sooner you look in the mirror and recognize that this is what it is, the better off you'll be. And maybe the more successful you'll be. There's no one else to blame. This is what I hear from addicts all day long, every day, day in and day out. It's always someone else's fault. But the truth is, it's nobody else's fault. It's been your choices and your decisions. So you can either make the decision that you're going to do your best to show me that you can provide a stable home for your children, or, just let them go and let's find really good homes for them.
I'm going to do it.
So, so you're going to get the benefit of some extra time. It's not a lot. And we'll see where we're at in 60 days. Okay? I mean, I'm going to tell you, like I've told a lot of parents, I mean, my intent is to go to trial on July 1st. But, you might surprise me. And if you're doing really, really, really great and you've made a lot of strides, I do have a heart. And I will consider giving you some additional time.
Yes.
But you've got to overcome a presumption with me right now that you're going to make it and you're going to get this done and it's going to be in the children's best interest.
Yes, ma'am. I will.
And right now, those odds are stacked against you because right now, sitting here today, I couldn't look at it and say that it's in the best interest of the children. So, use your time wisely. I think you should stay at Centacor in their program as long as you could stay. I think you need a long-term treatment program. I think you may want to look at, an outpatient program, with like Martha's Home or something like that. I mean, we're talking about stuff that's a year-long program, but you can ultimately have your kids with you in some of those places.
I think from here I'm supposed to go to Downtown Women's Center. There's a 2-year program after this when I'm done here, and I'm supposed to be getting the application done to turn that in as well. So when I'm done here, I go straight there.
Okay.
And then there's like a housing program. I'm on HUD. I moved up on my HUD list and everything. So
Okay. I mean, I'm very familiar with their program. It's a wonderful program. And I've had some moms that have had great success with that program. So, it's a really good one to look at.
yes,
But you gotta be 100% committed to it.
yes, ma'am.
And the ones that don't make it are the ones that decide to leave early. You gotta be committed to stay the whole time. Those are the ones who have success.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what's that? Set our new dismissal date.
Give me 1 second, Judge.
Sure.
And Judge, while I'm doing this, Terry Jones is pled in as an alleged dad on both children. Since we just found him, we did paternity testing on and Antoine Gentry as far as Layla. Just throw it out there for Ms. Grant. I don't know if her client's going to want paternity testing since he's alleged on both children. If we want to go ahead and get that in the works also.
I would say it would, since we only have 60 days, I would ask the judge to go ahead and order that. And if he doesn't want it, I can always withdraw the request, but I would like to go ahead and request it just so that we can start.
Yeah, I think we better. And I think we do it as to both children.
Yes,
Definitely.
ma'am. Okay.
I mean, we got to get it done out of state. And I mean,
And Your Honor, Miss Katie asked in the chat, do we want to leave May 6th as a permanency review for this case or set it on a different docket? Because we may need a review before July 1st.
yeah, no, I think we could go ahead and just leave it on for May 6th as a review hearing, since everybody's kind of already got that set aside.
Thank you, Judge.
That just makes sense.
Be Friday, November 7th would be the 6-month date, John, the new dismissal date.
Give me that date one more time.
November the 7th.
All right, then, unless, but I know y'all don't have clients here and you may or may not. I mean, we could do a review right now if y'all want to do it and then not have to do it on May 6th. That's just, but I know your clients didn't really have notice that we were going to do that today, so.
I'm good either way, Your Honor. I don't know if Miss Sylvia is the new caseworker on it. She hadn't been on it but about 2 weeks now. I don't know if she's ready for a review hearing today.
Let's just leave it on the 6th.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And I'm on staff. We're going to be staffing on this on Friday, so I'll get to meet with Ms. Garcia and then we'll be ready to do the review on the 6th.
Okay. All right, then, I do find that extraordinary circumstances exist with respect to Terry Jones, that would warrant the extension in the cases. I'm going to grant it in both cases because we don't want to try these separately. We've got siblings that are placed together, siblings that are bonded. And so I don't foresee that right now that separate outcomes, would be, the way to go with this. So Anyway, I will grant the extension in both cases, and we'll set that new dismissal date of November 7th of 2025. And then I'll see everybody back on the May 6th date for just a review hearing. And then we'll right now set the final on July 1st of 2025, and that'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. Okay, anybody got any questions?
Judge, did you make a ruling on the record as to my request for a guardian ad litem for Mr. Jones?
I did not, and I apologize. So let me just make sure a couple things on the record. I am going to order the genetic testing on Mr. Jones as to both. Okay. I am going to have Miss Katie, we will appoint a guardian ad litem for Terry Jones. I don't know who's next on the list. If she can tell us real quick, that'd be great, just so you know. Okay, Jay Michelson.
Thank you, Judge. I'll contact Jay and send him all the contact information for Mr. Jones and his POA.
Okay. All right, then. I appreciate everybody's time and getting together today so we could do this in advance of the hearing. So I'll see everybody back for our review hearing May 6th.
Judge, I got one question. Is Ms. Grant or Ms. Morano doing the orders to retain or on this, or are we doing those? Since there's no motions, I didn't know if they were doing them.
I don't mind drafting the order to retain since it was technically my motion that was granted, Your Honor.
But you'd only do it in the one case.
In one case.
Ms. Naranjo, will you do it in the other case?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay. All right. Perfect. I appreciate y'all. And then the department will get me orders on the genetic testing, and Ms. Katie will, I think, do the one on the ad litem.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay, Ms. Brothers, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank y'all. I'll see you pretty soon.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And these are permanency review before final order hearings inside of extensions. If I could have announcements in both cases, please.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Sylvia Garcia is my permanency specialist. We're both present, ready, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Kendra Naranjo for the mother, Tamesia Carruthers. I am present. Miss Carruthers is not present because she's currently in a drug treatment program at Centacor.
Jeff Hill on behalf of Jeff Hill on behalf of Dante Jones. He is not present, Judge. He's working. He was unable to get off, but I'm here in his place. I'm ready.
Judge, Mr. Jones is present.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's great. Thanks.
Made a liar out of you. There you go. There you go. And then I have Miss Grant.
Stacey Grant on behalf of Terry Jones, Your Honor, I'm present and ready.
Thank you.
Jay Michelson on behalf of, I believe, Terry Jones. I'm present and ready.
Okay.
Stacey Zavala on behalf of the children.
Thank you very much. Mr. Trout.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Garcia will be my witness today, Your Honor.
Let's go see if I can get you to raise your right hand. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Garcia, how are the children doing? We'll start with that.
They're doing very well right now in placement. I seen them yesterday, and so far the kids are doing very well. They're at placement. They're doing good also in attending school. One of the children's is attending school right now, and she really likes school. She likes the activities there. She likes the activities that they do at the placement as well. She likes being able to be close to her siblings. The boys also enjoy being close to their siblings and being able to interact with each other. So far they're doing well in placement, and they're on target and meeting all expectations.
Good deal. As to mom is currently still in Centacor?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Do you know, have you been able to talk to her or meet with her while she's been in there?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Do you know when her expected completion date is?
Yes, it should be May 17th.
Okay. Has she stated to you how she's doing in the program?
She said that she's doing very well, that she's learned a lot from the program and the classes that she's been taking there in the program.
Okay. Is she expected, has she stated whether she will be working with the outpatient services once she's out, or what is her plan at that point?
Yes, she's either going to do the outpatient services there with Cinecor, or she's also been trying to get into the Downtown Women's Center. So that's a whole interview process and being able to be accepted. But that's also something that she is trying to get into.
Okay. Do you know whether she has set up the interview process or gotten that application going yet?
That application has already been submitted. And as far as I know, they are actually trying to get with a program coordinator so that they could get her an interview date.
Okay. Is there any other services? What other services does mom need to complete other than the inpatient rehab?
She'll have to do the domestic violence counseling or group, the recommendations for that. So we have to send her for that. And then also she would have to just continue the recommendations of Cinecor.
Okay. We'll switch over to Mr. Jones, Dante Jones in Tavius Jones's case. How is Mr. Jones doing? Has he started his services?
He actually has started his services. So he completed 3 parenting classes. We have him signed up for the BIP program, and we just have to wait to get a date to get him going on that. He's also completed his psychosocial, and he is following the recommendations for that. The recommendations were for him to complete an OSAR, and that is a drug and alcohol assessment. And he has also already signed the documentation, and we have sent that out so that he could be given a date to be scheduled in for that assessment.
Okay. Drug screens, have you sent him to drug screens since you've taken over the case?
I have not yet.
Okay. Do you need Mr. Jones to drug screen for you?
I do.
Okay. Would you be asking for that today?
Yes.
Do you need a hair and a UA?
Yes.
Okay. And you'd make that request that by 4 p.m. today, Mr. Jones, drug screen, hair, and UA for the department?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you need to ask the court for on Tavius?
Not that I could think of at the moment.
Okay. On the other case with Lila and Terry, have you been able to find out any more information on Mr. Terry Jones?
I have not.
Okay. Have you talked to his power of attorney?
I have not.
Okay. Have you tried to talk to the power of attorney? You just haven't been able to get in touch with her?
I have not been able to get in touch with them. So I need to get more information in regards to who that is.
Okay. You don't have any contact? There was no contact information in the file from the previous worker?
No, there was not.
Okay. Have you spoke to Ms. Grant about this?
No, I have not.
Okay. If you could you and Ms. Grant and Mr. Michelson as the guardian ad litem for Mr. Jones, can you kind of get in touch with them, see what information y'all can all find out on the power of attorney, see if we can get a copy of it if Ms. Grant and them haven't been able to yet, and try to find out exactly what we can and cannot work out with the power of attorney for Mr. Jones?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And are you asking for anything in this specific case today other than parents to continue to work services that they can?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Any other updates that you feel the court needs to hear today?
No.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Hill.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Garcia, you indicated that Mr. Jones is waiting for a BIP start date. Did I understand you correctly?
That is correct.
Okay. That's a 24-week program, give or take, is it not?
Yes, that's correct.
Is there enough time left in this case for him to start or to finish that program?
There might not be.
Okay. Is there an alternative an alternative program or alternative something that he could do that is that he would be able to complete by the time this case goes to final?
I'm not sure, but I could definitely look into it.
Okay, please. That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Okay, look at this, Ms. Grant.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, would you be willing to contact my office following your court hearings today and discuss the power of attorney contact information?
Yes.
And I'll just represent to you that Mr. Michelson is just onboarding on this case as the guardian ad litem for Terry Jones. Were you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, and so he doesn't have the contact information yet either. So would it be a good idea for all of us to set a conference call to onboard so that everyone who's just joining the case can be onboarded with information?
Yes, that would be best.
Okay, so would you like to contact me or should I contact you to set up a Zoom call?
I could contact you.
That would be great. Do you have my contact information?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Your Honor, we have not received a copy of the POA yet, although we have been in contact with the person who holds the POA, and she's supposed to be getting that to us. And I've requested a certified copy from a court of jurisdiction where he's located. I know you're filling in. So my client is incapacitated from a medical event.
Right.
Although he has capacity, he cannot communicate.
Okay. Sounds like you're on it.
Yeah, and to complicate it further, Judge, he's in Oregon. So we're working on it though. With Mr. Michelson's help, I think we'll get it done. Thank you, Judge. I pass the witness.
Thank you. Okay. And then Ms. Naranjo.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Garcia, did Ms. Crothers also provide you some information regarding another potential father for for Layla?
Yes, she did.
And was the name of that father Michael Schaefer?
It is.
And
she said it was either. Oh.
I'm sorry?
She said it was either Mike or Michael Schaefer.
And was the department aware of this before then?
Not that I'm aware of.
And have you made any efforts so far to look and locate Mr. Schaefer?
We're still waiting to get back the search on him so that we could see if there's any possible contact out there for him.
And to clarify right now, Mr. Jones is the alleged father of both.
Correct.
I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Ms. Zavala.
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Well, since I have a reasonable efforts mission to me, let me ask about the elephant in the room, the ICPC request out of Oklahoma with an aunt. So what's the status on that?
I currently don't have a status on that. I would actually need to look and see what the status of that ICPC is.
Okay. Well, it looks like people have tried to discourage her and told her about ICPC. That's not the role here. The role is to make reasonable efforts to find family to place these children with. So I'm going to emphasize to you that you do need to follow through with this aunt. And if she wants an ICPC, then make that, please.
Okay.
And then did I hear we have a paternity issue still out there on, is Mr. Dante Jones, is he established?
Judge, I believe he is.
I'm sorry.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
My apologies.
No, go ahead.
Mr. Hill said Ms. Dante Jones is established. However, I believe, and Mr. Trout, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe at our last hearing, if I'm recalling, we did genetic testing order for Terry Jones for the two children that he is alleged for, Judge, so that we're waiting on that. when that comes back as to Layla, that could either confirm or deny the necessity to search for the other named father.
Okay, thank you very much. Just and I know you're new on this, Ms. Garcia, but do you know what the status on that is?
I don't know the status yet on it, but I can get more information of it.
You do realize that that's an out-of-state request through AG's offices, so good luck. Mr. Trout, do you know what that is? What the status is?
I was supposed to look at it real quick. I know we did an order for it, Your Honor. Let me pull that up real quick.
And Judge, my client actually lives in a medically assisted care facility, and it is an agreed genetic test. And so we believe that we will be able to get it done, hopefully.
Good. Good. Should be easy.
And Your Honor, that order was just signed on May 1st. Due to we had a hearing about a week or two ago on this case.
Okay.
But
it's in process.
Yes, ma'am. It's in process. So it may take us a little while, but it is in process.
It's now the AG's problem. Okay,
Yes,
cool. That's always good. Let's see. I think that was all that I had. Okay. Then we'll go to Ms. Naranjo. Do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Hill, any witnesses?
Perhaps, Judge, let me circle back to Ms. Garcia and ask her a question.
Okay.
The drug screen by 4 p.m. today, I believe Mr. Jones is at work, and he has missed a lot of these hearings because his work is not at all accommodative to him being here. And he's indicated to me on the chat function that he would be able to go drug screen at 2 o'clock. Will the paperwork be in place by 2 o'clock?
Yes, it will be.
Okay, so if he shows up at 2 o'clock, the paperwork will be there and he can get it done.
Yes, sir.
Go into work at 2 o'clock.
Oh,
So
okay.
you have to go to work at 2 o'clock?
That's what I was telling you.
So can
Okay,
he
my
have
apologies.
it there 1:30? Can you be there at 1:30? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they won't be, Judge. They won't be able to process him and him get to work in half an hour. That's not a physical possibility.
Well, can you go first thing in the morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't know what time they open. So
Your Honor, if we say by noon tomorrow.
that'd be fine.
Does that work, Mr. Jones?
Yes, I believe it does.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's all I had, Judge.
Okay, thank you. And then let's see. Did I get everybody? And then Ms. Zavala, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay. Did I leave anybody out? I know Mr. Mickelson is a guardian ad litem, so he doesn't really get to ask questions, but do you have anything you need the court to know?
No, Your Honor. I think Ms. Grant adequately asked all the questions I would have. So
Thank you very much. Okay, so let's talk logistics here. You're inside of an extension, which means your total drop dead date on this is November the 7th. So what the judge has set is a bench trial at this time, which could of course be reset to something else, but that is set for July the 1st on both of these cases. I am going to talk to Mr. Jones real quickly. Mr. Jones, I'm required by law to state to you that you have to work your services. Please go do your drug test tomorrow, things of that sort. If you don't, your rights could be restricted or terminated. I do find that reasonable efforts are being made by this large group of attorneys and caseworkers. And the fact that we're on the northwest coast, anybody want to volunteer to go up and go to Oregon or Washington or whatever, that'd be fun. Ms. Brandt, you probably would do that.
Yes, I'd be glad to.
Anyway, so I do commend all of you for trying to put this together, and I hope that the mother does succeed at Senate Court. And please check on that ICPC request. You sure don't want to get a complaint out of Oklahoma if the aunt goes and complains about it. So anything else? All right. Thank y'all very much.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
luck. You're gonna need it. We'll go
Thank
off
you,
the
Judge.
record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll go off the record.